Day 1 of Honeymoon.
High anxiety breakfast.
Australian Dairy Company?
Yes.
Australia Dairy Company.
For their egg sandwich.
Okay. It's not too hot today. It's like decent, but at the same time, yesterday it rained. Yeah, I have no idea what that high screeching is, but every now and then we heard it on the streets. Anyhow, our first stop was Australia Dairy Company, and the reason why Jenny described this as high anxiety breakfast is because it was very fast in how they did things. I think the expectation is that you show up to the restaurant already knowing exactly what you need to order. At this table, we sat with two strangers and ate our food. Sitting in small places and eating with strangers is a very common occurrence in Hong Kong, and something we definitely expected. What we didn't expect was how fast the food would come. What did we order? I have no idea. That looks good. A common theme in Hong Kong is that people have very little patience. If you don't really know what you are ordering, or you were confused about it, well, too late, the food's already here.
This is like my favorite thing to eat in Hong Kong.
This is pretty good. What is it?
Sprinkler lactate pills.
Nope.
It's milk.
It's just milk?
It's just milk.
Oh, this is gonna be fun. Aside from this, we also did order the sandwiches Jenny was talking about. This is so good.
Do you like this more than
Hard question. I like them equally good. Can't tell it raw or not. What time?
10. We're
What
out
time
by
is it now?
15 minutes.
15-minute breakfast.
Yeah.
The guy literally had like a line going. He went outside and was like, do you have two? Do you have three? Party of two? Party of three? Shuttles us in. Go inside, order quickly, get food, pay, and in peace. I miss the efficiency of Hong Kong. After that very quick breakfast, we found ourselves with tons of time on our hands, so we decided to shop around a little bit at the local stores. Not finding anything interesting, we decided to just head over to Victoria Peak a little bit earlier. So last time I actually did try to come here and find the tram, but in my defense, there were protests going on and I was by myself and I don't speak Canto, so I walked the entire thing and I don't think I made it to the top either. Ferry stops over there and I just kept walking and walking and walking up, thinking I would eventually hit the peak, but it doesn't, like it stops.
Well, we have ugly, like we're brown eyed. It's kind of.
What an idea. The tram is honestly a really good time, so if you have the chance to do it, I would strongly recommend it. After you arrive at the peak, you can take a whole bunch of escalators to go even higher, and then finally there is a minor paywall to the observatory. I forgot how much it was, but it wasn't that expensive, and you can use your octopus card to pay for it. Now, if you don't want to pay for that, there are a whole bunch of stops along the way in between the escalators to go outside and view the scenery. We stopped by one of these, and I made a bit of a blunder. It is nice. It's a little cloudy to see the entire thing, but this means like less sun for us, so it's like cooler. Here in the very short period of time I was here. There was a conference right. Oh, that's annoying. Should we get something? Sorry, thank you. Oh, that was embarrassing.
Oh, it's okay.
Peak Galleria.
Peak Galleria. Yes.
Okay, let's try not to drop it up here. The Sky Terrace itself was actually really nice and not that crowded. Unfortunately, it was not that crowded because it was about to rain today. Luckily, we got there in the nick of time before the rain started. There's like a path there. We're not hiking this time.
Hotness. The humidity is from hiking.
That's fair. The last time I was in Hong Kong 5 years ago was in November. That had a temperature equivalent of a very nice autumn day in Canada. This time we were here in May, and it was much hotter. Couldn't finish milk tea from this morning, so we put it in its bottle. And now we're drinking it on the Victoria Peak. Note this out for the rest of the trip, do not hold the phone over any ledge. So I think what I did last time was, there's a ferry that's right over there. That one. There's a building right over there. That is the university. I remember this because there's that water line across that I jogged around. And then from there's a ferry that you can take to around that part here. From this part, I think what I did is, I very stupidly went across all of that all the way to there. And I thought that was as close to the peak as I can get. But I didn't know that there was actually a path down there.
So you never came up all the way up here?
Nope. I got lost and I got high enough and I was like, alright, I'm gonna take a picture then go back down. But hey, in my defense, no data, no friends. And it was in the middle of a protest in 2019, so. I feel like we should eat something here. Just because when we first started dating, I changed your profile to the one from Forrest Gump. And you know, it is our honeymoon, so. That's still like just one day, so. After spending quite a bit of time just admiring the peak, we decided to head out and get lunch. We were looking at the outside of this restaurant and we're like, seems kind of small. And then Jenny was like, maybe let's not sit here. But then the person on the inside came and grabbed us. I was like, you guys are eating here, right? And then we're like,
she's like, table for two. I'm like, oh, okay.
And now we're here, so.
Efficient, good customer, good way of grabbing customers. Just say you want to come in or not. This is $5.28.
5.20 Canadian. Okay, that makes much more sense. You may have caught on that there is a theme of us being voluntold to eat at certain restaurants, but we didn't really mind it too much because the food was always really good and very affordable. With that said, after another 15-minute meal, we decided to head over to the Harbour en route to our Airbnb. Eggs? Unfortunately, we won't actually get to see the eggs in action from Team Lab, but don't worry, we will get a chance to visit a installation by Team Lab way later on. Now, the last time I was in Hong Kong, I did know that there was marathons and that marathons were a thing, but because of the protest, I never really appreciated how large of a thing it was. This time, however, you can really tell. There were tons and tons of joggers and endless advertisements for the next big city marathon everywhere. We then considered going into the giant Ferris wheel, but because it was a cloudy day and also very hot, we decided to skip it for now. It is very hot.
If it was like a night,
Yeah, maybe.
or like we're here at night.
After a very enjoyable ferry ride, it was time to go back to our Airbnb. As soon as we got back, we took a giant nap. It turns out the sleep deprivation we built up was not going to be remedied from just one night of good sleep, and we knocked out for a good 2 to 3 hours. But because we planned for a couple of hours every time we ate, we were still very much ahead of schedule for the day. We did have a couple of things we planned to do, however, they required a clear day. And because it was raining, we decided to do a climbing gym instead. After reading a lot of reviews, we decided to settle on Mizu climbing for the night. This would be the first rock climbing gym we visit on the trip, but it definitely wasn't the last. Mizu climbing was really easy to find, and the staff all spoke English as well. While the gym itself wasn't huge, it was decently sized, equipped with lockers, a change room, and selfie sticks everywhere for those who wanted to record. What's this place called again?
Mizu, water.
Mizu climbing. Cool. So the grades, it goes green, blue, red, yellow, black, gray, and then gold. What would you say a red is in Canadian Toronto terms?
4-5.
4-5? Red is 4-5, yellow is probably
5-6. 5-6, 7.
actually 6-7 I think is pretty accurate. Yeah. So in Canada, I usually climb around a V5 to 6 level, and on a very, very good day, sometimes I can project a 7. Since we were on vacation and did not have our brushes nor our usual chalk, I was expecting to climb just at a V5 to V6 level. At this gym, that meant I was trying most of their red tags, which we found to be around a Canadian V4, V5 level.
The big green one, yeah? That's not the hard part.
Not gonna lie, I did struggle a lot on their red tags and didn't have finished all of them. I feel like if I did give them a bit more time, I probably could have sent most of the red tags there, but some of the yellow tags actually caught my attention as I was going through the red tags. Looking back, it was probably not a good idea to push for the yellow tags here, which were equivalent to Canadian V6s and V7s on our first day here. Our bodies were super exhausted, we were super jet lagged, and completely sleep deprived still. But the yellow tags were set in a very fun way, and I thought that since we weren't coming back to this gym, why not go all out on some of these more fun climbs? I will have another chance to. Before I show you my attempts at the V6-7 yellow tags here, just one more thing to note about the gym and Asian gyms in general. They have a lot of rubber on their holds. It's hard to say if this is because they don't clean their holds often or if it just gets a lot more use than the Canadian ones, but it was definitely not something we were used to. And yes, we did try to brush a lot of the rubber and other chalk off, but we found that oftentimes it was nowhere near enough. And speaking of things we weren't used to, all volumes in Asia are not in for the climbs. In all the climbing gyms we visited in Hong Kong as well as Taiwan, the volumes were only in if there was a hold from your climb on the volume. Oh, one last thing I forgot to mention. There are no down climbs. While the gym isn't necessarily very high, I kind of hoped there would be some. It's humid.
Yes.
And I'm super deprived.
Yes.
I feel jet lag.
No.
I don't really want to try that again.
Okay. I would try that one. Oh wow.
You can see quite a lot of black on my hands. There's a lot of chalk on a lot of the holds. The holds feel kind of old and not very clean. Not bad, not a deal breaker, but not what I'm used to. Winding aside, because the sets were really fun, I would still definitely recommend this gym for anybody who is trying to climb in Hong Kong. Here is one of the yellow tags, which I have graded as a Canadian V7. It was set in a very fun way, and I definitely really wanted to do this. Unfortunately, I discovered this climb towards the end of our climbing session and I was completely worn out. In the end, I only managed to do a segmented run of this, and wasn't able to do a true send from the beginning. I would try more, but a segmented run for that one is probably all I'm gonna get. Never had this many shoe marks from just climbing. This gym is really dirty.
Look at my...
Yeah, it's really dirty. Well, that's unfortunate. I guess we're done. Maybe another day. I went pretty hard, but it seems Jenny went even harder, and after a bad dyno, she got some flappers. We saw that as a sign to finish off our climbing session for the day. So we left and got dinner at Max Noodle.
You can finish it?
Yes, definitely.
Okay.
It's more expensive than what we ate all day though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Slightly fancier. That's true. This place does look a little fancier too. Like there's actually a room we can sit. We were sharing tables all day and this time we get our own table.
Yeah, okay.
It's at least a little fancier than that. Yeah. It's actually so good. Every time we go to wonton places in Hong Kong, it's never bad. One more thing to add to this, unlike all the other places we went to eat today, we didn't get haggled into this restaurant. The restaurant was a bit fancier and a bit more expensive, so we figured we can finally take our time with the food. But then after we ordered, we got the food almost immediately. Like we ordered this, and then 2 minutes later it came out. Which is good because I was hungry, but
done food in like 15
yeah, like
minutes again.
all our meals are like 15 minutes and then you're done. In any case, that is a wrap for day 1.